but perfection is the killer, right? If you're looking for perfection, if you're a perfectionist, you're not going to move forward because there's always something wrong, right? So you're probably, like some of you who are lost, like consider that. Is it because you're too perfectionist? Are you looking for perfection, or are you willing to do Pareto's law, stopping at 80%? That's something that has been really helpful for me during during the development of Spirit Guide, is knowing when something is 80% good. I'm done. I send it.
Damn, I never knew about this. What's it called?
Pareto's law,
Pareto's law. Okay.
unless I'm wrong. Yeah, Pareto's law. Yeah. And it's actually 80. You never heard that? Like 20% of the actions leads to 80% of the results, and the other 80% lead to 20% of the results, right? So why would you focus on
Damn.
all of it? Just focus on the 20% that drive this work smart, like focus on the 20% that bring 80% of the results, and then go from there, move on. That is super powerful for thinking smart. It's a framework to think smart.
Yeah, maybe I waste too much time on the last 20% to make it closer to perfect, and I'm wasting a lot of time.
This is where all of the time is, basically.
Damn.
Trying to finish up stuff. No. So, and then you can actually outsource
the remaining 80% to get the next 20%.
Yeah, exactly. You outsource that. What's one goal that you've set where you really struck that balance, if there's one between purpose and between the why and the action, and how did it turn out?
When I was good question. When I was helping so there's a few businesses in Bali, and I was just like, you could say, consulting for all of them. So I was fixing all the problems. I'm so action driven, and there was no need to think here. It's just task, ka-ching. That was the perfect balance.
Perfect.
Task. Perfect balance. Here, now, right?
Strategizing as well.
I was strategizing. I know. So the thing is, I know exactly what to do. So I just do it. In some other cases, like in business, you have periods where everything is easier, everything is action driven. Sometimes everything is like the change course of my business is less task oriented.
Mm-hmm.
It's more thinking, strategizing. So for those who don't know, I'm a fitness coach. I've been a fitness coach for a while, but I've had results with clients that were way bigger than just fitness. And so I've changed the course of my business to kind of a life coach, because I just want to work with the people with a deeper why. I want to work with the people who, one guy, I took him from 0 gym, 0 workout, 0 diet. Now a year and a half later, he's running triathlons. He spends better time with his children, or he's better at his job. Like, he feels more proactive, productive. Another guy, he's like top performer in his job, since we work on more than just gym. So I'm looking for those guys and that are more niched. And so the change in course, so for example, landing page, content strategy, offers, etc., requires not tasks and actions. It requires sitting down, opening a computer, thinking, brainstorming, interviewing, testing, etc. These are less action-driven moments, so they are kind of not foreign to me, but they are not the ones that fulfill me the most. So that's So when I was not in those periods, then that's where I strike the perfect balance.
Okay, interesting.
Here, I feel like I've done a lot of work today, but I can't enumerate what I can tick off,
TikTok.
you know?
Yeah.
Like I improved my landing page. Yeah, but is that quantifiable? If I've done this and brought this to here and fixed this problem, that's quantifiable. You can cross it off and
Yeah.
it's over. It's the best.
It's also hard. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to quantify. I think it's also good. I know it's not so much the way you see things, but I think it's really good to actually, like we did this weekend, to actually just reward yourself and let yourself be rewarded.
Yeah, I rewarded myself on the dance floor.
Exactly. No, but do what you like, and just like when you make progress, just reward yourself because that builds the dopamine loop. There's a lot of evolutionary aspects as well, where you have that dopamine loop. If you never reward yourself, like what is momentum? Momentum is taking massive action. It's basically what Tommy Robbins talked about. Basically, you have action that feeds it. No, you have motivation that feeds into action. Then you have actions that feed into results. Result that feeds into confidence, and confidence that feed into motivation. Motivation that feeds into action, and that's an infinite loop. So it can be a virtuous cycle. But then that's what was really interesting about it. What he said is, you cannot fake motivation.
He said that?
I mean, no, wait, what was it? Maybe there was no motivation. It was action, results, confidence, and action. Maybe. I think there was a fourth one. Yeah, I think it was motivation. And basically, like motivation, it's not that you can fake it, but you can easily lose it, right?
Mm.
So it's kind of the spark. But then,
oh yeah,
then
good point.
You cannot start with results. You cannot start with confidence. You can't. It's not how it works. The only thing you can start with is
motivation.
Action.
Oh. You said this motivation is the spark
motivation
that drives into action.
Yes, true. But I'm not sure if it was motivation, but basically it was all about massive action.
To that point, I listened to a quote. I can't remember who it is. A guy who has a podcast, a Chris guy. I forgot his name.
Chris, like Modern Wisdom?
Yes, I think so. And he said that you can, just like you can fake courage by, if you're scared of something but you still do it, you're faking courage. If you're not motivated to do something but you still do it, you're faking motivation, and that is motivation. So
yeah, and exactly. Yeah, you fake. Yeah, you have. Oh, it was faith. It was faith. Faith instead of motivation. So you had faith, action, results, confidence, or faith and confidence would be reversed maybe. And so basically, the only thing you could start with is faith. Just having faith that you can do it. Faith that you're the one to do it.
Interesting.
And that is powerful because that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I have faith that I can impact millions of people through Spirit Guide. And
another thing.
I would not do it. I would not have that motivation if I didn't think that.
Yeah.
If I didn't have the grander vision of things.
Yeah. And another thing is, I think by somehow with your UX UI designer, you didn't have a purpose, but somehow by doing more things with intention, you figured out a reason, a purpose. So now your whole Spirit Guide endeavor is so purposeful that you never lack energy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where I've never lacked energy or motivation, apart from the small story I talked about. And that's because I have a purpose.
Yeah.
Everything I do is for that purpose, is that mission.
is on par with what you're doing. That's
So actually, if you're lost, all you have to do is ask yourself why, then why, then why.
right.
Find your purpose. Action, baby. Action, action, action.